to sarva karmani, means you devote all your work, you give the result of your work to me. In the 6th verse, if you see, sarva karmani, then mai sanyasya, then he is talking about tyaga, then mat paraha, only for me, then ananya bhakti, he say ananyaiva jogena, then mam dhyana, dhyanta means just meditate upon me. The same, you see, all things are there in this sloka already. Then upasyata, then worship me. Then what is the result? He tells in the next sloka, tesam aham samudharta. So samudharta means very quickly. Urdharta means I will deliver, but samudharta means very swiftly I will deliver from the murti sansara sagarat. Then what will happen? Na bhavami na chirat partha mai avesa chetasam. Chetasam means here chetasam means is mind. It's antakarana. It may be mind, intelligence, ego, or consciousness. This particular here it is called mind. The meaning is the mind. So Prabhupada also he also mentions in his purport. So one more Baldev Vidyabhusana, he also says the devotee whose mind are attracted by me, avesita chetasam. I am a deliverer from the sansara. The same thing, almost there is not much difference. So then he says, not after a long time, but very quickly, very swiftly. So Prabhupada gives one good example, like those Gyanis and Karmis. What they do, that one analogy Prabhupada gives. Sometimes we see one dog is, trying to cross the ocean. He is swimming. And these Karmis and Gyanis, what they do is, some people they try to catch hold of the dog's tail. What will happen? The dog will drown and these people will also drown. So this is a very nice analogy Prabhupada mentions in his lecture, one of these lectures. He was telling this, all these Karmi, Jnani, Yogis and all these, impersonalists, Mayavadis, they are like they catch hold of the dog's tail. They can never ever cross this material world, rather they will drown and they will die. That is what Prabhupada also says. And if you see in the end of the 8th chapter, you have already heard, so there Krishna mentioned there are two ways. One is Devayana and one is Pitrujani. Pitrujani and Devajani. That means the sun, if you see the summer time, it deviates towards the north, and the winter it is Dakshinayana and Uttarayana. And similarly in the moon there is waxing and waning. After Amavasya to Purnima, it is waxing, and waning is Purnima to Amavasya, like that. So like that, so for those who are not devotees, there is always a risk. What is that risk? They have to give up the body in the daytime. It has to be Uttarayana. It has to be, in the waxing period of the moon. Then only there is a possibility they will go back. But whatever it is, whether they are Jnanis, Karmis or any other method, bhakti is a must. Without bhakti, they won't be successful. First thing. Second thing, there is no other way other than bhakti, Kevala bhakti, not Misra bhakti. There is Karma Misra bhakti, Jnana Misra bhakti. So like that there are Misra bhaktis. By Misra bhakti one cannot enter Vaikuntha planet. One cannot go back to Godhead. So going back to Godhead is only possible by Kevala bhakti. That is what Baldev Vidyabhusana he also mentions here. So he says that they attain my dham without going along the path of light and waxing fortnight. This example he is giving. So, Nayami paramam sthanam archir adi gatim bina garuda skandham aropya jathecham anivarita. So, Garuda skandham. So, here Krishna personally comes, just like in Gajendra Moksha Udharan. Gajendra Moksha. So, how Krishna immediately came? And the Sudarshan Chakra already released. And Sudarshan Chakra, he so swiftly it was going, and by his Garuda Bahana, Lord Vishnu immediately came. He dragged out the crocodile and both the Gajendra Maharaj they were in the water, they were fighting. Then he separated. First he killed the crocodile, alligator. Why? Because he has got hold of the Vaishnava's lotus feet. That is why he was delivered first. Then Gajendra Maharaj was delivered. So that, and also Draupadi. You see many places Krishna very swiftly comes, but he waits till the full surrender. So the whole message is we have to practice Ananya Bhakti, and then only there is a possibility of deliverance. So then it says, Baldev Vidyasana says, according to my desire, unchecked, I bring them to my dham. See, all things, sometimes these yogis, they do big meditators. They Ashtanga Yoga, and there are 6 chakras, and then they move the life air with the soul to the Brahmarandra. And from there, they can send it to any planets. And that any planet doesn't include Vaikuntha. For Vaikuntha, Bhakti is a must. So yogis may go to Sargaloka, or they may go to, some Brahmaloka or some other planet. But that has to be within the material world. At the most, to the Vaitarani Nadi, which is surrounding the material world. Viraja Nadi. So, even though one disregards prescribed activities, Bhakti brings to the goal Yavai sadhana sampattiha purusartha. That sloka already, the same sloka which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also mentions. So like that, Prabhupada's time is almost getting over. So what we learnt from today's sloka, by Kevala Bhakti, only Krishna can be achieved, and there is no need for any other, and Bhakti Yoga is very simple. So there are some slokas in Srimad Bhagavatam which I will like to mention, which supports this in 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 4. It is said, Sreya sratim bhaktim udasyate vibho klisanti ye kevala buddha labdhe tesam asau klesa la eva sisyate nanyad jatha sthula tusavagninam. So here it is said, my dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up that path and engages in cultivation of speculative knowledge, in this particular sloka, it is compared between jnana and bhakti. So here this sloka supports that bhakti is superior to jnana. This particular Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he mentions this. So he says, simply undergoing troublesome process, jnana means you have to struggle hard with your senses. So one cannot achieve the desired goal. It's like, then he gives the example from a husk where the grain has been taken out. So even if we beat many times, you will not get anything. That is jnana marga. Right? So that example is given. So this is about speculative knowledge. It is simply to increase our trouble. And also, on Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, 22 chapter, verse 39. A very famous sloka. You should all remember this. Jat pada pankaja palasa vilasa bhaktya karmasayam grathitam udgranthanti sanantaha tadvanarikta matayo jatayo piruddha srota ganastam aranam bhajavasudevam. So the devotees who are always engaged in the service of the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord can very easily overcome the hard-knotted desire for fruitive activity. Fruitive activity is very difficult to overcome. Because this is very difficult, the non-devotees like jnanis, yogis, although they are trying to stop the waves of sense gratification. Normally we face, while practicing devotees, many times there will be waves of enjoying spirit. Only by bhakti it can be controlled, not by reading many books, or no other method is possible. So this is what this verse says. Therefore you are advised to engage in devotional service to Krishna, O son of Vasudeva. And the very next verse says, Kritsro mahan iha bharanarnam alpavesam sadbarganarkam asukhena titirsanti tattvam harer bhagavato bhajaniyam anghrim krutva dupam vyasanam uttara dushtararnam. The ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross. The second verse, it is supporting the 7th, 12.7. It is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks, like the other Gyanis and Karmis. Although those who are non-devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross that ocean, we recommend you that simply take shelter. This is Prithu Maharaj's. This is Prithu Maharaj's pastimes, where we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like the boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of the lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers. So this whole discussion we learned today, with all these Bhagavatam slokas, with this all other two big acharyas giving their commentary. So we concluded there is no need of any other process. This Kevala Bhakti is the only process, and the result is very quick and very easy. It is very, what do you call, enjoyable. It's very easy and simple. Bhakti is very simple, basically. So like that. So, and also we learned what are the hierarchy. So by just doing any karma and giving the result to Krishna, then it becomes bhakti. Just like Niskam Karma Yoga. We give the result to Krishna, then it purifies our heart, then the irrevocable knowledge about Krishna, that is realized, and then devotional service starts. So like that. So then also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions in Shikshashtakam, in the mood of a devotee, his desire is so pure just to serve Krishna, and that pure desire attracts the mercy of Krishna. Nadhanam najanam nasundarim kavitamba jagadisha kamay mama janmani janmani sare bhavatad bhakti. So devotee never desires mukti. So that sloka Mahaprabhu is teaching us, simply by sincere desire, it will attract the mercy of Krishna. Mercy we can obtain if we identify what is our mistakes we are doing, and first point out the mistake through the help of the spiritual master, and if we rectify that mistake, mercy will automatically follow. We don't have to beg mercy like Prabhuji was telling. We cannot snatch mercy from God. We have to be qualified. So what is that qualification? So whatever shortcomings, mistakes, if we rectify, then mercy will automatically flow. Hare Krishna. So I am just exceeding the time. Thank you very much for attending this session. Hopefully it was a bit philosophical. So any corrections or any comments? Thank you. Grantharas Bhagavad Gita ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.